Hey guys.
Oh, you just. Hey guys, Tuffthumbz here and Gavko. This is kind of be a video probably going to be on both of our channels, so you get to watch it in I don't know, two different angles, I guess.
Yeah, exactly.
But we were talking today, and we kind of want to do a video.
I'm all packed and ready to go home, and we figured, well, like before I actually want to go, we get to sit down and talk some knives more.
Yeah, it's a video I've always wanted to do. Like I remember seeing Dark Child and Jeff Juice do this. They would just kind of hang out and show each other new stuff and talk about it. But this will be different. You know, me and Gavko butt heads a lot on our taste in knives. Same with Vance and Sebastian. It's everybody's got different taste here, so it's gonna be.
I think that's a cool thing.
Yeah, it's gonna be off the top of our heads, just completely no planning here. We just basically are setting up the cameras and just gonna talk about them. So I'm just gonna go through mine. You know, the ones that maybe you want to hear about. Nothing with our stuff, just production knives and custom knives. So. I guess first right off the bat here, you know, the elephant in the room here, literally, the WR Blade Works. Now, I love this thing. It is a little bit impractical because of the size. I mean, it's a little bit ridiculous in the size. I mean, hey, what do you got? You got paramilitary here. You guys saw it last night. You know, it's just, it's massive, like absolutely massive. But to me, it's like a work of art, I guess you'd say. And, you know, it's kind of like a sculpture of a knife, like almost like like, you know, it's supposed to hang on the wall as a representation of WR's work or something like that.
Yeah, I think that is the best description of the knife.
Yeah, I mean, it's not, I mean, it can be used. I'm probably going to use it because, you know, the only, you know, if I paid for this, you know, full out, I probably would never use it. But this is in exchange for some work from a good friend, a good deal and everything, so I probably will use it, actually. So
I gotta say, out of all the big, you know, chunky knives I've seen here, because Vance is a big fan of big knives, Jeff also likes big knives, Sebastian likes big knives, I gotta say this is probably the best ground on it. It's actually a good working grind. It's nice. This actually, no joking, this edge and the grind is thinner than hinderer. And it's, if you were to use this, you can definitely use it. You can use it in the kitchen. Like this crazy guy has a big onslaught in the kitchen as a kitchen knife.
Yeah, that's my favorite kitchen knife.
This can definitely do the stuff. It is a really beautiful knife.
Sorry about the shakiness, guys. I'm unscrewing this thing so I can get a better hold on this. I figured just holding the camera.
Are you gonna hold the camera?
Yeah. I'll have you pick up.
It's like, and the funny thing is the weight. It doesn't really.
Oh, it's heavy.
It really doesn't do justice. Just the video. It really is like. My guess is like 20 ounces. Really.
Yeah. The Titan.
It's definitely over a pound. It really is in the weight category of like this chopper here. I guess that the copper is pretty heavy. Yeah. The liners, I'm guessing that they gotta be steel. They're not titanium. They gotta be steel, yeah.
You think? No, that's titanium, man.
You think it's titanium?
100% sure it's titanium.
Yeah?
Yeah.
How is it so nice and dark?
Oh, it's just some finishes. So anyway, moving on. I don't want this to be an hour-long video. So then I also got this guy. This is a Laconico, I'm sorry. This is my first experience with one of these. I traded my Will's Hermano for this. And it's a nice flipper.
I like this one.
It's very nice. He says it's too big for him.
Yeah, it's a big knife for me, my taste, but I love it. It's very nice, simple looking, great. This is my favorite blade shape on the folder. You know, it reminds me of hinderer. The nice slicer grind hinderer with the little false wedge on top. It's just that overall, and you see this blade shape on all the good, I think, all the good popular knives. Sabenza is similar to this. Hinderer, all the really good knives have this nice and plain, like drop point blade shape with nice belly up front. It's beautiful.
If you go into bleed steel, let me know, guys, in the comments. I was looking around today, I couldn't find much. I think it's D2 though.
Action on this knife is incredible.
It's nice.
And if I remember right, this wasn't even IKBS. These were regular washers.
No, that's just regular.
It's just beautiful.
The thing I like about this is perfect for me. Like, this is a good user. For me, it's perfect size. It's about the same size as ET 560, and nice just the shape and everything just makes it say like, hey, let's just, you know, just use it. Who gives a shit? So, you know, I love it, and it's elegant, and it's just gonna look good the more worn it gets.
It's nice thin grind. Let me see something. I just realized something. Look at this.
Got the VCP here. But yeah, very
see
similar.
The similarities on the little notch, little thumb ramp, good blade shape, little false wedge. Yeah, it's like I said, a lot of popular blades have this blade shape.
Now I think we both agree that the 3-inch hinderer is probably, I think we both agree that it's probably one of our favorite knives ever.
Yeah.
I mean, I love the 3.5-inch too. I don't like the 24 at all. I think we both just agree that it's just an incredible knife. I mean, like, it's worth the money to me, I think.
The MSRP.
Yeah, the MSRP. Yeah. I mean, it even is. I mean, at this point, like, I love this thing so much that I would pay that amount of money for it. $800, $750, or whatever.
I'm too cheap.
If I had the money, yeah.
I understand that people who have the money do that. I understand that at this point. Me personally, I couldn't make myself do that. They are great knives. A lot of people with the bigger hands, they say that 3-inch one is too small.
Yeah,
I can understand
but you know,
that.
Compared to a small Sabenza and a PT, I think it's the best
this is much better.
It's got a full grip there, and
it's more secure grip. Just the overall knife is, I liked it a lot.
Now, let's get some controversial shit going here. So we got the Grayman. What do you think of the Grayman? I mean, we got like a $300 to $400. This is the smallest one. This is the Duo, I think. I don't know.
It's just not my taste of a knife. It's just not my taste of a knife. One thing is, like, again, it's a lot, we talked about it, a lot of people do this on these titanium frame locks. The chamfering on the corners is just like there is no chamfering. It's just microscopic.
It's not as bad as this though. This is like angles, like 90-degree angles.
That at least kind of looks nice because it's like concealed carry. So, you know, forget about that. It's actually like kind of sharp on the edge. But this is just like flat. It's just not my taste.
I find it comfortable. Did you feel it in your hand, like open it up and grip
I'm not talking really about the comfort. These are folding knives, so you don't. It's not that important. You're never gonna. Most of the people will never use it that way. For me, it's just the looks. Just because of its flat, for me it loses appearance. Whatever you say, however you say. Yeah. And
fun to pimp though. Put a rock pattern on that bitch, and it's nice.
Yeah. These are actually pretty fairly priced, aren't they?
Yeah, they're fairly priced and really good customer service. Everybody takes care of their customers really well.
I've seen this in the community pretty often. Like
that one was refurbished. That one's actually refurbished, and they refurbished it to make the lock go 100%. That was the only way they could fix it. Apparently, it was an earlier one or something. Grind is terrible. Here's the thing: the grind is horrible on that thing.
Yeah, it's pretty thick. Yeah, especially for such a small knife.
I reground it. Like,
here's one controversy for you: our community, knife reviewers, and frame locks. All the people are dwelling on how early the lockup is, while actually for the use of a knife, the deeper the lock, you know, the further in the lock, the better for you because it's more secure.
That's why the Sabenza, I love the Sabenza, because nobody, like people say, oh, the lockup's late on it, but the thing is, they're all like this when you get them. Like especially the Tuffthumbz has that ball in there and
that's
it locks.
That's what it should be, yeah.
And this is the knife that I've never seen with blade play. I've never had a Sabenza with blade play before, ever. And unless it's like really loose or something like that, like the screws or something, but. It's a perfect lock, and it's not 100%. You don't need it to be like right at the hanging off there, like right at the tip.
Yeah.
I mean,
the thing with the early lockups, you can kind of recognize people by that because then you see that it's just a collector, it's not a real user. Most of the people, because they really care about what's the resale value on it. That's what the resale value of the knives of the frame locks really go a lot by how early the lockup is. I think it's silly. A lot of the knife lovers that use the knives will probably agree. A lot of people will be like, what is he talking about? But it is a fact, you know, the further in the lock is, the more surface area it is.
There are some knives that when the lock is further over, it's bad. Like it creates blade. That one has blade play, but here's the thing though, when it comes to like locks,
safety issue.
But when it comes to locks, I mean, you're going over like, you know, you go over a certain amount, right? And like if the lock is like almost as thick as the blade, I mean, what do you expect to happen there? Like, I mean,
but here's the thing: that's the controversy, contradicting people. People are saying like, I love frame locks because it's like, you know, the best lock, strongest lock. But then why would you want your lock to be weak by engaging on very few? The blade play is not a safety issue. The blade play is just it's cosmetics.
And
it doesn't have any effect on how strong the lock is. You know, what's the chances of the lock actually disengaging if you really use it hard? That's the fun effect.
And there's also something about a titanium frame lock that makes people feel like it's going to be stronger. It's the best lock. It isn't. In my opinion, I love, as you can see, most of my knives are frame locks. I mean, that's not on purpose. That's just because a lot of my favorite designs are frame locks. But it is not the strongest lock. In my opinion, the most problems I see are with frame locks. I've seen less problems with liner locks than I have with frame locks.
This is the strongest lock.
Yeah, yeah, we can all agree. I mean, when it comes down to it, I'm grabbing a fixed blade. I mean, I'm going to have a folder in my pocket, but I'll grab a fixed blade. Now, what do you think of the Crusader Forge?
I was never a big fan. They're nicely made knives. It's just humongous for me.
It is uncomfortable, but it's beautiful. And they
have very nice vans. Is a big sucker for them.
They're beautiful, man. Look at that finish on there. It's gorgeous.
You know, if out of these big chunky blades, big chunky custom folders, if I were to pick, I love that direware. They are just amazing. They're also
nice.
ridiculously big.
Problem with me with the direware, and let me know if this happens to you. Like, I wanted a direware more than anything in the world. But when I finally got one here, and it was a friend of mine, he wanted me to sell it for him. So he's like, you know, you can play with it or whatever. And I had it for like a week, and I got so bored of it that I basically played with it for like one day, and I just put it in its box and never touched it. Now whenever I see one, I'm just like, eh.
Yeah, I love how they
I don't know what it is.
I probably wouldn't use it because they are too big for my use of a knife, but I do love
the small one.
Yeah, but it's still big.
But on the opposite end, though, the Tuffthumbz was the first custom I ever owned, and I still get a kick out of it. I still like it. I mean, it's so simple and so plain compared to a direware. Yeah, like that one and this the disc in here.
The disc in this.
I mean, it's not the double action thing that gets me. It's just I don't know. It's just perfect.
It's a very nice shape.
I mean, it's just such a nice knife, and I don't get sick of it ever. It's just really well made, and I mean, this thing is the sharpest knife I own, and it's stayed sharper more than anything else. It's Elmax steel. I don't know if the heat treat
is a very good steel.
But this thing is razor sharp. I went outside cutting boxes for an hour with this thing.
They use Peter's heat treat. They use Peter's heat treat on this and Elmax, and even when I did tests with the Elmax in the past, it was exceptional. It really outperformed everything else. Well, it's still easy to work with.
This is Peter's heat treated Elmax right here.
Yeah, that's a beautiful.
This is my knife. We all like this one better than anything on the table, so this one and these fixed blades.
I love this. When I seen this, I couldn't believe. When I seen it in person on the show, I couldn't believe that you made this.
And these are gonna get made, guys. You don't understand the work that goes into this stuff and how much it costs me to get them made. I mean, you're talking the Tuffthumbz I'm getting made right now for Blade HQ. I mean, I'm running about almost $4 grand spent on it. I mean, it's not cheap, guys. I mean, it takes a little while to get, and it's not even. I'm gonna get half of them in, and I gotta get them heat treated after I make them. So the sniper blade works. Ugly.
No, this is the funny thing. I always loved them. I was a sucker for the shape. There's a couple things I personally would change. I'm not a big fan of that, you know, big finger choil, because then the blade is so short and the handle is so big. But I always loved the curve on them. I love the shape.
It's organic. There's no like straight edges anywhere. It's just nice and organic. That one's very comfortable.
What happened? How come this one? Did you reground this one?
No, that one was ground thinner.
That's incredible. Because normally, and no joking, normally it's pretty much every sniper blade was before when I grabbed it. That edge, that grind behind the edge was literally as thick as this knife is to begin with.
Yeah, like that was like a Crusader Forge right here, man. When I held that up to the grinder to sharpen it, I held it like almost straight on.
Yeah, this is all.
It's like
this is no joking. This knife behind the bevel is really as thick as this knife to begin with.
Look at that.
It's like no exaggeration.
There's a V shape. I mean, and it's when I was sharpening it, I could not get it sharp at all.
You have to get like 60 degrees on each side.
I was like, what the hell is this crap? You know, like,
Man,
so you got the BCP. For me, it's like the Tuffthumbz, but the lock issue is a really big thing. I actually didn't carry this for a long time because of it. Now I kind of do because it does it sometimes and sometimes doesn't. Stonewashing it seemed to make it work better. I love that. It's ergonomically better than the Tuffthumbz.
I've noticed this before. When you open it now.
Yeah, that one's bad. But the thing is, Les George, that thing was pimped. He said even with the pimp job, acid wash carbidizing, bronzing, all that stuff, he'd still fix it for me. I just haven't sent it back to him. He's probably the only knife maker that would do something like that. I mean, that I have experienced. Not to say it's totally fine for them not to, because you're modifying stuff. I mean, you know, the frame lock, I've explained in other videos. SNG, I love the SNG. I know Gavko doesn't. This is one of those things that blade play doesn't bug me with this knife at all. It has blade play sometimes, and it doesn't bug me. It's off center. Really badly off center. I mean, I just cleaned it, and for some reason now it's more off center.
It's funny when you told me that. I thought it was so
like the dirt was
amusing.
making it centered, but I love that knife.
Me and Striders, especially this one, I love the blade shape. Again, it's one of my favorite blade shapes. I actually like the grip here. I don't know why the end of the handle bothers me so much.
Right here,
it's not like it's not in a way. It just visually, just the taste.
It's like a joystick in reverse grip though. It's like a thing here just for your thumb. It fits perfectly. But I mean, I don't reverse grip any of my knives usually.
It's actually not. It's not uncomfortable. It's okay, but For some reason, just visually, it bugs me. That shape. It's just the visual. I love the blade shape. This is really cool blade shape.
See, I don't like this blade shape. I mean, I love this knife. It got really boring for me.
I love how it looks.
See, this thing is ugly as hell. I mean,
in my eyes, it's a beautiful
knife. It is a beautiful knife, but at the same time, there's, for me, like, I have like, an art background, I guess you'd say. So like, I was really into like, aesthetics and like, what looks good places, and there's little things that just bug the hell out of me, like, and just there's something about, I hate the file work. I
love it.
Yeah, I hate the file work so much. I mean, I don't like it. They should. I mean, the blade's like whatever, but on here, it doesn't do it for me.
I think it would look badass, really badass, if they put a nice flat grind on it.
Yeah,
that line kind of doesn't fit. What? No, let's do that. That line for me doesn't fit there, but whatever. But I think it would look really slick if it was just nice full flat grind. And I don't think that blade needs it, but I love it. This is beautiful knife. It's nice and small. I like this one a lot.
Let's go to a production knife here. What about the paramilitary 2? Paramilitary 2, you guys. I think we both agree this is probably one of the best EDCs ever. I think we've both had points in our lives where we've carried mainly a paramilitary for months on end. I have.
Yeah.
I carried mine like, I mean, no matter what I got, I mean, the paramilitary was the one I grabbed. I even keep it in the shop right there at all times. And I used it hard, really hard, and I actually ended up selling it for a lot. And well, I refinished it, because I can. But at the same time, I mean, the thing held up, like nothing chipped, no tip came off or anything like that. And I even pried with it like an idiot. And it didn't break or bend at all.
I love paramilitary. Yeah, I think it's the best.
It's perfect.
It's probably the best knife, just generally, production knife to buy.
Price point is a big part of that perfection. I mean, you're getting S30V and a really strong lock, which I find to be stronger than a frame lock.
Yeah, people did the crazy test, and it will help. It's the funny thing is, it looks so fragile. If you take it apart and see how it actually works, it looks so fragile because it's a little nimble of the steel holding in that cutout of the blade. But I guess just the physics of it, like it's literally like pin going into the something. The mechanics of it, it's exceptional. And people did some crazy stuff to these blades, and they held.
Yeah. Now on the other spectrum, Bradley Alias. One of my most hated knives. I hate the Bradley Alias. I don't know why. It's definitely an okay knife. I mean, what is it? Is it ZDP or is it S30V?
S30V.
Oh, I'm thinking of that other knife that's just like it. I don't like this. They come sticky as all hell.
Yeah,
they're really sticky.
This is still sticky, and that's already carbonized.
to me, it's a flat out knockoff of a Sebenza. I mean, they call it the poor man's Sebenza, I guess, even though it's like almost the same price.
No, it's $170, $180, the small one.
Oh,
I think
the
large one is
around,
just a little more.
Yeah.
The thing is the same thing. If you buy this knife that's stock, it's just flat titanium with a little micro beveling on the edges.
See, the Sebenza is the same boringness, but for some reason, I don't know, it's just gorgeous to me. But this one, I don't like it, man. I just don't like it. I mean, it's cool now. I mean, you changed it.
I think the price point on this knife for what you're getting is actually pretty good because
it's not a bad knife.
You get full titanium scales, good steel, and it's under $200. And I think the price point is pretty good. It's not a bad knife. The stickiness is really bad on it.
I've had a bunch of them I've had a lot of people, you guys know I don't do just carbonizing by itself. I've had a lot of guys like, they'll just send one with it. Can you carbonize this with my pimp job? And I'll say yeah. And I've gotten at least 5 or 6. I mean, since the newer ones came out, the newer small ones, a lot of people had some problems with stickiness.
One thing I say about this, it's really freaking smooth. Out of the box, it's one of the smoothest knives I've ever gotten.
Out of the box, they've been really rough.
Mine was super smooth, like really smooth. That's fine. I mean, it varies.
Yeah, some are different.
Here's something of my price range. Here's a skyline.
Yeah, okay guys, budget knives, like I am not against...
You cannot beat it.
I'm not against budget knives at all. Some people think that I won't pimp a lower price knife. I love pimping lower price knives because that's your favorite knife, you know what I mean? And you want to shell out the money, even though it's 4 times the price to get it pimped sometimes. But at the same time, I mean, this knife will last you forever. I mean, you're never going to go wrong with it with a Skyline. I mean, it's a freaking... I mean, Nothing Fancy talks about this thing, like, still, to this day.
Yeah, it is
like,
a
he
great
references.
knife.
It's great. Kershaw knives
I learned about it from him.
Yeah, Kershaw knives are better than any production knife company, period. In my opinion, their customer service is insane. They have like a million different designs, all for the same price point. It seems like.
Yeah, that's what I like about Kershaw. They are doing all these crazy things. Some stuff doesn't work for somebody, but I like seeing that they do this the new type of lug, like when it's just not the whole liner, just like kind of what is the name for it? The Echelon and Knockout.
Oh, like the subframe lock.
Subframe lock. Is that the name?
Like that. I think someone will.
I think that's pretty cool. You know, try to use shedding weight.
Knockout is like it literally knocked me out for like a knife like that.
Very cool knife.
I got excited. Blade HQ put up that video showing all the Kershaws, and I got real excited about even like the lower price ones. I mean,
Yeah, Kershaw Knockout is.
I don't have my production.
And they have a couple of different. The new ones that are coming out. Oh man, I can't.
Yeah, the ZTs and ZT. I mean, you cannot go wrong with ZT. Period. Any ZT I've had, even the 400, which I don't like the way it looks because it's just kind of weird. They're just solid. They're really solid.
777 small. That's gonna be sick.
And I like the little miniature 560. That looks awesome.
That one also. That's
and then
cool.
you got your Yojimbo.
What is it? The 560. That's gonna be this handle. But with the 560,
it's not the same shape. It's the same like. It's like basically they took this knife and like sculpted it into a 560 handle.
It's gonna be.
It's got the same QB like thick titanium on this side, and yeah, it's cool, man. I mean, that's the only problem with the 560 is it was big and it's got the.
I love that knife, but it was so big. It was a good knife.
Yeah, I'm sick of it, but
777 is gonna be sweet, but it's small. I don't know if they call it 77 small or something.
Well, here's something. Here's something. Benchmades, I hate their new stuff. Like I've seen the stuff coming out. I think their designs are like dated and they're not doing anything good.